Hey horror fans, once again it is me, the Horror Miser G. Yes, we're almost finished with the 31 days of Halloween, and so now we're at the conclusion of my Scream series. It's now time to review Scream 4. Yes. Now, Scream 4 is a 2011 American slasher film. Once again, it was directed by Wes Craven. Unfortunately, this was his final film before the late, great Wes Craven unfortunately passed away. And once again, written by Kevin Williamson. Yes. Once again, it stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Emma Roberts, and Hayden Panettiere. Now, in this one, 10 years have passed, and Sidney Prescott, who has put herself back together, thanks in part to her writing, is attacked once again by another Ghostface killer. Oh man, poor Sidney. Now I'm sure the first question came to everyone's mind is, why was Scream 4 made? I mean, we had a decent conclusion with Scream 3. Sidney is no longer afraid or scared of life. Dewey and Gale wind up getting married. There really wasn't a reason to make a fourth movie. Now, just as I said about Scream 5, what more can you do with these three characters that already has been done to them already? I mean, also, what else can you make fun of? The slasher genre, since Williamson has already made fun of slashers, its sequels and trilogies. What's left of them to make fun of regarding slasher films? Once again, screenwriter Kevin Williamson, who only written a 5-page outline for 2 sequels, decided that with the third sequel, he will make fun of a growing trend of horror movies at that time. Remakes! I mean, come on. At the time that Scream 3 ended until the time Scream 4 came out, we were inundated with a whole bunch of horror remakes. And so Kevin Williamson said, let's make fun of horror remakes because people were pissed off that certain movies, Halloween, that's right, talk about you, Rob Zombie Halloweens. Yes, a lot of people did not want to see remakes of some of their favorite horror pictures. I mean, we had the Dawn of the Dead remake, we had the Night of the Living Dead remake, we had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and of course we had the Jason remake and the Freddy remakes. I mean, they were remaking everything. Hell yeah, that's right. I'm talking about even the Prom Night remake. Ooh, God, I want to forget about that. Now, another interesting spin that Williamson put on this film is the killer's motives. Now, we know what Billy Loomis and his mother's motives were. They simply wanted to get revenge on Sidney. For Billy, it was because his mother ran away, because his father had an affair with her mother, and of course, Mrs. Loomis because Sidney killed his father, and Sidney killed her son. Now, as far as Stu's motives concerned, peer pressure. Maybe he thought, doing something crazy because he's crazy himself. That's the reason why he decided to pair with Billy. Roman's motives was pure jealousy. I mean, he felt as though he should have deserved the life that Sidney got. So his was pure jealousy. And Mickey's motives were regarding the fame a serial killer gets after getting caught. So basically, when you put it down, all the motives are somewhat similar, with as far as Billy and his mother. We have Stu motives is a little bit separate than from Mickey's or Roman's motives, but not like how the motives or the killers are in Scream 4. Now, we all know that one of the motives the killer has is to create internet fame because she felt as though that the fame Sidney got from all the murders that she's been having should be hers. And unfortunately, the film shows the problems that comes with people who create internet fame and the obsession of social media that drives it. Now, we all know some people will do anything to become famous, especially on social media platforms. They will do anything for views, subscribers, followers, etc. Logan Paul! Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on. It's like, when you have someone that's willing to eat Tide Pads or film somewhere in a very sacred place just to get views or subscribers, or do something on Instagram that think people will follow you. A lot of people will do that. Logan Paul! So there is no surprise when one of the killers is willing to kill almost everyone and then beat themselves up for the sake of internet fame. Now, one of the reasons I believe this film is a step above Scream 3 is the gore they use out of all the films in the series. This is the goriest of them all. I mean, one of them involves the killer gutting out one of the victims, and the other ones involve sending the other one in the head very violently. Yeah, that scene in the bedroom where where Ghostface kills one of the girls, and you see the aftermath. She's really gutted, almost similar to what Hannibal does to the police guy, and I believe the film Hannibal when he guts him open, or visit, he just guts him open, his guts spill out. Very violent, really violent, very bloody. Of course, we still have all the elements that we love from Scream, and this one pokes fun at horror remakes. There is a wonderful scene involving Kirby where she rattles off almost all the horror remakes that were made for the past 10 years. I think that's one of the best scenes is the movie, is that she's trying to save Charlie. She has Ghostface talking on the phone. He talks about what some people consider the first slasher film that was made, and then she rattles off a whole bunch of remakes. And when you look at her saying all the remakes that were made, you're like, wow, they've actually made a whole bunch of horror remakes. Speaking of Kirby, played by Heroes actress Hayden Panettiere, we have a lot of good actors and actresses that were cast in this movie, mainly because of the popularity of Scream. Now people want to be involved in this film. Maybe people there never wanted to be in a horror movie. Battlestar Galactica's star Mary McDonnell, who plays Sydney's aunt and Jill's mother, Kate. Blackish star Anthony Anderson plays Deputy Anthony Perkins. Nice play on the name. Rory Culkin plays Charlie. True Blood star Anna Paquin, Kristen Bell, and Lucy Hale all have cameos. Now, Scream 4 was released in theaters on April 11 and it grossed $19.3 million. The box office, fortunately, is the second lowest opening in the series. It would only go on to gross $97 million worldwide, making it the lowest in the series. Now, I felt Scream 4 was an improvement over the third film as the story was more real. It felt more fresh. Felt something was missing in Scream 3. Not saying that Scream 3 was a bad film, but there was something missing. Maybe because Kevin Williamson didn't write that film. The satire wasn't there. Something was missing in the dialogue that the people had. I don't know, but there was something missing in the dialogue. Maybe the tone down of violence was another problem because we really didn't see that much blood in the killings, as opposed to we saw in the first two films and in this film. The killings were more violent and gory. I love the fun they made about horror remakes, and I believe the killers in this movie had the best motives in this series. I mean, when you look even at the ending of the film, which Sidney says, "Don't fuck with the original." Now, that's what a lot of people would say to a lot of remakes because they feel as though some of them don't measure up to the original. That's right, RZ talking to you. Now, if I were to rank Scream 4, I would actually give Scream 4 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. This would get 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, I would actually rank this probably third in the series. Out of the 4 movies, this would be the third one in the series. So obviously I would go Scream 1 is number 1, Scream 2 is number 2, Scream 4 is number 3, and Scream 3 is the last one. Now, what does this leave us with Scream 5? Well, right now it's a bit too early to find out what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure that we all know that Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette are all going to be in this film. There were some rumors that Matthew Lillard might return as Stu in Scream 5. We all know that he supposedly died in the first Scream when Sidney dumped a television on him. He's supposed to electrify his brain, but there's a possibility he could have survived. There's also rumors that Kirby, who was supposedly stabbed by Charlie, and Scream 5 also might return because we really don't see her dead. We just assume that she is. There are plenty of ways that we can find out what's going to happen. But, as I stated before, I really don't know much more you can do with Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. I mean, it's like, what more can you do with these characters? But we're going to get a Scream 5 because that's what the studio wants. They feel as though there's still an opportunity for it to make any money. You would think after Scream 4, because it is the lowest in the box office, it only made $97 million worldwide, so that should tell you something. But maybe there's still some people that want to see Scream. I'm pretty sure people who do love the Scream franchises will go see this one. Only time will tell. So, my horror fans, what do you think about Scream 4? Do you think this was a vast improvement over Scream 3? What about the motivation of the killers? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what your thoughts on Scream 4. And there you have it. That is my whole series. Whole series on the Scream franchise. Like I said before, it revitalized the slasher subgenre. There's no telling where the horror subgenre would be if it was not for Scream that came out in '96 or '97. I forget what year it came out before. So Scream has its place in not only in the horror films but in films in general. Uh, Thank God for Kevin Williamson and, of course, for the late, great Wes Craven. And that's my video for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share. And if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G. And always remember that horror rules. And I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.